Hi, my name is Kimberly Huddleston, or Kim Lyra was my married name, but everything is under Kim Huddleston as far as what I go by. I wanted to make a video today. I'm going in to have a hysterectomy, a full hysterectomy, leaving only the ovaries if possible, due to Essure placement, which was done 15 years ago this December. So it was planted December of 2000. I am a trial participant. As far as I know, I might be the oldest or the longest Essure implantation person. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe so. Like I said, I was planted in December 2000, and within my first follow-up, which was like 3 days, I started experiencing pain down in my lower abdomen area and in cramping, like heavy period type cramping. And it's documented in my charts from my participant paperwork. A lot of it has been altered. They've crossed a lot of things out, but that's a different story. Right now I want to just talk about completely how I feel, why I've now been really forced into having a hysterectomy at 39 years old, which I probably could have had, 15 years ago, a hysterectomy, and no one would have even thought anything, because I still have the same issues. I had thought that all my pains and every issue that I had, my weight gain, my hair loss, my bloating, my cramps, like severe cramps, my bleeding, my menstrual cycles that would last like, a month, my clots that were like that big, pain with sex, that would last like after and for a long time. I didn't know that all of those issues that I was having were not something that normal women didn't have. I was implanted when I was 24 years old, so I kind of assumed that this is the way women worked, all the way until I had teenage daughters, and I started noticing that they don't have the same cramps I have. They don't have the same clots and a lot of the same issues. They don't have it. So I was able to kind of bounce my ideas kind of off of them, and then kind of build my whole story of what all of these issues were that were causing me pain, and then try and figure it out. But that's the good luck. I went to doctors, hundreds of doctors. No one could ever tell me who, what, when, where, and why. It was always, I had an Eastern fundoplication because I had excessive acid reflux, which caused me to have growth of cancer cells in my esophagus. So that's one surgery. I had that when I was like 28. Did it solve my issues? No, they're still all there. All there still to this day. I had my gallbladder taken out. Do I really think I had gallbladder issues? I don't think so, because I still have the exact same issues. Nothing changed after those surgeries, which makes me a little scared today to have my surgery, because I'm not hoping for a miracle, but I just would like to be kind of pain-free and some of my issue-free, not completely healed and be a miracle. So like I said, I was bouncing these things off of my teenage daughters, seeing how they were feeling, and noticing that my symptoms were way, way, way different than what theirs were. So I started talking to other women who weren't implanted with Essure, because no one knows what it is. Even as many people that are affected with it, no one really knows still what it is. Even doctors don't know. But women weren't having the same issues I was having, so this was obviously something different. After losing many jobs, people thinking I'm a flake, people thinking that I'm a hypochondriac, which is the biggest one, including my family, which now that I think that they actually are seeing that I'm not a hypochondriac, that these are real things. I started looking on Facebook, and I found this wonderful group of Essure sisters, E-sisters. And sometimes there's a lot that goes on there, so it can be overwhelming. So if you decide to join the group, don't put a lot out there unless you want a lot of response back. So be very wary of that. They're just only trying to help. But there's so many of us that are affected. We all want to help you. We all want to say, we're here for you. It'll get better. We're praying for you. Nothing is ever done out of like spite or anything like that. They're a really great group. But so I kind of wrote down my story. And they said, what? So then I've met a handful, not physically, but over line, I've met a handful of these women who all have the same issues. And then I noticed that everyone that writes has the same damn issues. And we only have one thing in common, is we all have the Essure. Some of us have had it for 15, 16 years. Some of us has had it for a month. So it's a lot that goes, hold on. Okay, sorry. So, I started listening and following what a lot of the women on the Facebook Essure sisters were saying, and I had all the same issues. These women have physicians, doctors, letters, referral coordinate. I mean, they have everything you can think of. If you need it, they have an idea of what you should do and how you should do it. Not just for their own opinion, but from hundreds of us that have experienced it, down to homeopathic-ish like ways to help your cramps versus taking pain pills, maybe an ice pack or a heat pack or a hot bath or an Epsom salt bath, or just things that aren't always what the doctor tells us to do. So through them, I was hooked up kind of with a lady, Lauren, her last name was with a G, and she works for one of the local news stations. She did a news report on me. So I encourage you to watch that. It's under Kim Lyra, Lira, and then Essure, Essure. But it's still up. I still see it. I still see people share it. But it gives you a little bit of kind of my background and some other stuff, along with the fraudulent paperwork that the trial place, the doctors over there, they did, which really contradict everything that they said. It's just crazy. But so, when I was doing the interview, it was kind of like a therapy for me, and it was a really scary thing because I had never really told a whole lot of people about all my issues. So this was kind of like a type of moment. So the report came out, and well, let me back up. So when they were doing the report, they had asked me, have you gone to the doctor? Her and her supervisor, or whatever she is that was there, the woman that was there, was super nice. I said, no, I'm too scared. I'm scared. I haven't had a well woman exam with a PAP in well over 5 years, 6 years. I haven't had... because every time I go to the doctors, they're just like, oh, maybe you're depressed, and so you're feeling a little bit more. Let's give you some antidepressants. And I don't want to take that. I don't have that issue. I'm depressed, yes, but it's purely for one issue, and I don't need antidepressants for that. I know that I don't. So, but they encouraged me to see a doctor. Kind of like, it was like almost like a challenge. And although she didn't realize it was a challenge, but to me it was a challenge because I like to win. I'm very competitive. So when they were like, well, let us know how the doctors goes. Let us know. You should really follow up. So it was kind of like in the back of my head. So to go back with the E-sisters, they kind of had lists of doctors. Well, it encouraged me. I went and established a PCP. I told her about my issues. They do the Essure implantation there. They had no idea that it has as many problems as it does. So I did educate the office on that. But they didn't know. They really didn't know anything about Essure other than they put it in. That's it. That's the full extent that they knew, is that it was for permanent birth control. I swear to you, the doctors, the nurse practitioner, that was it. But the most valuable thing is they gave me a referral to a OBGYN, Dr. Gullinson, and he is in the Glendale, Peoria area off of like Thunderbird and 54th Avenue or 53rd Avenue. Super nice guy. But I went in and I told him I was terrified and I hadn't had a PAP in 5 years, over 5 years. And I told him all my issues I was having, the cramps, the bleeding, just how painful it was. Well, on that visit, he said, we don't have to do PAP today if you don't want to. We can just talk and then go from there. But I did express my want to have the Essure taken out. No more wanted it. Wanted it out. And he said, I'd love to be able to tell you yes, but we have to make sure that that's the problem you're having. So I said, okay, I'm going to trust him. He said, do you want to do the PAP today? And he said, well, I'll give you a couple minutes. I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more and we'll see how you feel. So he gave me like 2 minutes, brought me a juice box and came back in and I said, okay, let's do this. So for normal women, a PAP is uncomfortable, maybe slightly embarrassing, or maybe gives you a little anxiety hearing the click, click, click noises or something. I don't know. I'm not very modest, or I'm kind of a free spirit, so I wasn't scared of, ooh, he's going to be down in my female region. I was more scared of, oh my God, is it gonna hurt? Oh my God, is it gonna bleed? Oh my God, what is he gonna find? That was the big thing, is what is he gonna find? So he started the test and he says, well, starting, it was very, very just, everything looks normal right here. And he said, I'm going to go ahead and just touch your cervix with my Q-tip, the opening of your cervix. And it started to bleed. And he says, well, are you on your period? I said, no, I actually haven't had my period in about 5 weeks. I said, it should be coming. I don't know when it's coming, but it should be coming. Well, it didn't come for another 4 weeks. But when he touched my cervix, it started to bleed. Automatically, just from a Q-tip. So he said, obviously there's something going on here. So let's just go ahead and go do the little bit of PAP we have to, and let's have you come back in and we'll do a biopsy. I was like, what? This is not what I wanted. This is what I wanted, but it's not what I wanted. Really? That's scary, a biopsy. So I got up. They brought me another juice box because I actually got a little faint and a little scared. And they brought me some crackers. And I sat in there for about 15 minutes. And normally, we get dressed and we leave. And that's it. About 15 minutes, I still had a lot of anxiety. And he comes back in and he's drinking my little juice box they brought me. And he sits down and he goes, well, let's do an ultrasound first and see what we find. And then let's go ahead and then we'll schedule the biopsy. Let's schedule them both, but let's schedule the ultrasound first. Because if we don't find anything, then we don't have to go do the biopsy. Well, that automatically, that word right there just helped me to say, okay, an ultrasound doesn't hurt too bad. So, come back a week later for my ultrasound. Gave me a week to talk myself out of it, I guess. But I came back for the ultrasound, and they did, the abdominal ultrasound, and then they did the vaginal goes up in the vagina. And again, on the thing that she puts up there, it has blood on it, but I'm not on my period. They couldn't find, and this is not the first time, but they couldn't find my right ovary. And she says, well, sometimes that's kind of normal. But your uterus is really, really, really swollen. It looks about the size of a grapefruit. All the way they could feel it on the outer parts. It's right underneath my belly button, which coincides with my swelling, on how bad it hurts, why I don't wear jeans that often, why I don't wear pants that buckle that often, because it hurts. Sometimes I feel skinny and it's not as swollen. Sometimes I feel really 9 months pregnant and huge and fat. But so he came in after that and he talked to me and he said, okay, so we need to definitely do the biopsy. So he gave me he brought in this little thing and he showed me what they were going to do. Scheduled the biopsy. I had horrible, horrible, horrible anxiety from it, and it hurt. It does hurt. people say it's a little pinch, but it was a lot more than just a little pinch for me. I had a lot of bleeding for the, not heavy bleeding, but just a consistent bleeding, not a period bleeding, for about 7 days after. And then shortly after that, then my actual period started. So I kind of bleed all the time, just kind of how it works. Which is gross and sad and unfortunate, and women shouldn't have to do that, and we shouldn't have to think that that's normal. That's the biggest thing, is that's not normal, and I shouldn't have to feel like that's normal. I shouldn't have to have sex and say, oh, is there blood? And you know, it's embarrassing, but thankfully I have a partner, and he been together over 5 years, and doesn't bother him as much. I don't know. Maybe he's used to it, or maybe, I don't know. But it shouldn't have to be that way. I shouldn't have to feel that type of self-conscious all the time with my own physical person, like, oh my gosh, am I bleeding? And with my intercourse life of, oh my god, am I bleeding? That's not the way it works, or shouldn't work. So, from there, he said, we're going to call you with the biopsy results. And I'm not going to go over my biopsy results on this. I just want to strictly deal with what he then said after. So he calls me a week later and he says, so we're going to do, bring you in, and we're going to talk about your hysterectomy. I was like, yeah, right on. So go into the doctor's, and I'm a little nervous and I'm a little excited, and I don't know, I know it wasn't like happening that day, but it kind of starts to give you this, like you're at the top of the hill and you're like getting ready to go over, you see the rainbow, you see all the pretty, it like just kind of makes you excited just to know that it's kind of working and going the way that maybe it should have gone 15 years ago. But so he brings me in, he says, well, we got a lot of issues with your biopsies. You obviously are in a lot of pain, there's a lot of issues going on. I feel horrible for you. We're going to do a hysterectomy. We're going to try and leave as much as we can. I know that you have concerns about having the PET fibers, PET fibers, from the Essure, because it has the nickel and has PET fibers in it, and they're, I don't know, in my brain they're about that big. I don't really know how big they are, but the little coils, if you don't know about them, research them, look them up. Look up the positives and the bads about it, but look them up to see what they look like. They go in your fallopian tubes, which your ovaries are over here, and your fallopian tubes, that goes over here, and your uterus, like thing. She says, we're going to try and leave the ovaries, so we don't have to have you on hormones, throw you into early menopause. Great. She says, we're going to take everything else, though. So that I don't know anything about hysterectomy. All I know is hysterectomy leads me to be Essure free. Right? That's it. That's all I know. I know that I no longer will have the Essure. So what do? Is I get in my car and I start pulling up YouTube videos on hysterectomy. And by the way, Dr. Gollinson does have videos on YouTube. He's just a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He puts you a lot at ease. So I started pulling up videos on YouTube, and it's disgusting. And it looks really painful. And it's probably a lot easier now because it's robotic with a physician assistant or physician assisting. But it's really, really, really a serious surgery. And I have to remind myself that it's a serious surgery. But so, I almost started to talk myself out of it. Like, maybe I can just, I could just live with this. I've had it this long. I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad. I really started to talk myself out of what it was. And we don't have the hysterectomy scheduled at this point. This was before Christmas, December 2015. We don't have anything scheduled. So and he says, we're going to call you to schedule it. So he says, it'll be after the holidays, for sure. He says, I want you to take it easy, not do a whole lot. Just really rest, take it easy, and read up on the hysterectomy. He didn't tell me to watch videos, but I did. So his office calls me and says, Dr. Gollinson would like to get you in the first of the year. He does feel that you are in an immense amount of pain, and you've suffered long enough, and he asked that we put you on the schedule for this week, which is his first week back. So he was back Monday, which was yesterday. Today's Tuesday I'm having it back after Christmas break. So that to me kind of, I said, okay. I was driving the car, alright. I wrote down the information, and I still kind of thought maybe I'm going to talk myself out of this. I don't know. So I'm in Christmas break. Okay. And I work at a school, so I'm on break. My kids are on break. My kids are grown up, but my youngest is 16. She's on break. So I don't do a whole lot. I try to rest. Well, wouldn't you know, like the way my body, I'm trying to talk myself out of it, but wouldn't you know that this is like the worst amount of pain I've ever had is these last 2 weeks. The pain in my gut is just crazy. I'm undertaking pain pills almost every day, more than once a day. Before I would take like a quarter of a pain pill, like here and there, and would be like, yeah, that worked. Now I'm like a whole pain pill, and I still feel the pain. Like, wouldn't you know that I have a date for my hysterectomy. I'm trying to talk myself out of it, and then these next 15, 16 days was like death on me, and there's no way in hell I was going to talk myself out of it. I had my Christmas over here, I had my mom over here, and just people were able to see how much pain I was really in. Even some of them on pain pills, it doesn't take the pain away. So, with that being said, I filled out my pre-hysterectomy paperwork, signed off all the forms, sent them into the scheduler, and I just really confirmed my appointment. Which brings me to about yesterday. I did my bowel prep. Awful. And I didn't think too much about this yesterday. I thought I want to do a video of kind of what leads me up to this point. Not all of my major issues, which I'll go real quick and kind of just say them all real quick at the end, but which leads me to where I'm at. So I am showered, no makeup on. I haven't eaten in over 24 hours because I am now on a no celiac diet. I have celiac disease. Related? I don't know. They won't tell you that, but I have celiac disease. So I've cut fiber. I've cut celiac or gluten completely out of my diet as much as I can, which has made a big difference in my physical appearance, but also my another pain that I have. I have other pains because of this. It gives you other issues, but so because I don't eat gluten, I no longer have these stomach cramping, intestinal cramps. Not the same cramps, intestinal cramps. But I've also lost about 20 pounds. But I still have this bulge, still fat, but I still have this bulge down below my belly button, which I'll show you. But so I did my bowel prep yesterday, and relaxed. I didn't lift anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't shower yesterday. I just really watched movies and did nothing to kind of get myself ready for this. I didn't want to be exhausted. So, took my shower this morning, decided I was going to do my video, and I was going to post it today. I really hope that it's shared. I hope that people kind of see that, you're not alone. This isn't normal. This isn't how we work. This isn't okay. This is not okay for people for organizations, for companies, for anybody to make you feel that the way you feel for 15 years is okay, and that's how women feel, because it's bullshit and it's not. And I'm confident of that. I'm so confident of that this is not how women feel. But let me show you. Let me give you a list of I don't have anything written down, but I'm going to go off the top of my head of what issues I have. I now have lupus. So I have pains from the tips of my fingers, my fat little fingers. See how swollen I am today? Can't even get my ring off. I don't know why. I haven't eaten in over 24 hours, but still swollen. I have celiac disease. Just found these things out within the last month. I had an autoimmune blood work, and those things came back positive. I am scheduled to go see a rheumatologist to try and get things under control for that, but I'm not going to do that until after I kind of feel a little bit better from the hysterectomy. I gained 50 pounds, and like, you know, but I've been kind of the same weight for a long time, so this is what people kind of know me as. I was 186 before I found out I had celiac disease. I stopped eating gluten, and boy, did that make a big difference. I lost 16 pounds, almost 20 pounds. Actually, it fluctuates, you know, a couple pounds, depending on my swelling, which today is really bad. I have, it used to be, I have diarrhea, I have intestinal cramps, I have spasms, I have this, but now it's celiac. I just have a lot of pain. Pain. The pain is, some days it's tolerable, some days I feel like I am in labor. Literally, labor. That's not okay. But I get really red, and today, you can kind of see it, I'm really white, but I get my allergic reaction to, oh, there, you can kind of see, to stuff is, this is not a sunburn, I'm in the winter, I'm covered up, but my allergic reaction is I get super red, not to mention the lupus and the celiac does this, but you can see on my face, let me get close, but you can see how red the typical this right here, this typical masking is pretty standard. I have no makeup on, so this is pretty much how I look. I have a giant birthmark over here, but you can see that how red I am. Again, not normal and not okay. Here's my belly. And my kids laugh at me because I wear my yoga pants all the way up. I don't roll them, but let me just show you. Like, so this is my belly, and this is, like I'm telling you, this is like 20 pounds off. But, so this, it's fat, there's fat, definitely fat, but this right here is just rock hard. This is right under my belly. Look at my other surgeries. So this is fat. Right here is my fat. But this is rock hard right here. And you can feel it. You can feel how swollen I am right here. And it literally, it goes all the way down. Down here I am fatter, but, and you know, this, it's embarrassing to show that my real, true self. And look at, this is just scars from all the surgeries I've had to try and fix some of the pains I have. And this is not okay. Not okay. So, but I'm gonna go. Just about time for me to leave. Wish me luck. Think positive thoughts. If anybody else is going through the same thing, you know, you can contact me. I'm on Facebook, Kim Huddleston, HUDDLESTON. You can always friend request me. But the Essure Sisters, they're a good group to get in contact with. I have so much information, but you're not alone, and it's not okay. That's the biggest thing, is this isn't okay. It's not okay. It's not okay that I have to have that I'm having to have a hysterectomy. Not okay. In any way, shape, or form. That's not okay. It's not okay that I am being robbed of part of what makes me, what I felt that makes me a woman. That's not okay. So, and that makes me emotional, because if it happened to my kids, I'd want to go kick somebody's ass. I'm a little hood, but I would. So, I'm gonna go have my hysterectomy. I will do a video of actually the real pains of it, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. So, I guess that's it. Here's for happy healing.